because I was on a portion of the seller side of the training that I was doing. But what is a seller or an estimated net sheet? An estimated net sheet could be for seller or buyer, and usually on every app they have a buyer button or a seller button. So we're just going to talk about it as like a seller button. A net sheet is an itemized list of closing costs associated with the sale of the home, and the estimated amount that the seller will net from the sale. Okay, so what's actually included on the net sheet? Any mortgage balances, sales price, HOA resale demands, closing cost credits, transfer fees, dog prep, recording fees, inspections. Miscellaneous expenses are transaction fees, repairs, home warranty. You're also going to include the commissions on there for both sides, and then like a closing date, so they know how to prorate your taxes, insurance, utilities sometimes. So all that stuff is included in there. And then when do you use the estimated seller's net sheet? Does anybody know?
I would use it, I would have it actually, an estimated one at the beginning, when I'm trying to get the listing.
Presentation, yes.
Yeah.
I like to do that so I can show them, hey, you know, this is the prices that we're talking about, because as you know, if you've taken my classes, I don't ever like to, at the listing appointment, I don't ever like to give them an exact price. I give them a range. So in this neighborhood, the low and the high is here. So if you were to sell it on the low end, this is what you'd net, and if you sell it on the high end, this is what you net.
So we have two prepared.
Yeah, well, there's an app. Okay, so there's a couple of them. So ROC Title does have an app that you can download. It's got a shortcut that you can put on your phone, and then it opens right up into their website. And Barbara's going to go over that with you. And then Palm Agent app. A lot of the other title companies use them, but it's a very easy app to use. I don't know if you have to designate with another escrow officer to get that, or marketing rep to get that, but if you just go to your app store, I know that it's in there and you can download it. I just don't know how far they'll let you download it. But they've got a pretty good one, because on that Palm Agent one, it'll give you a range of $10,000. So, and I think it's like a $50,000 range. So if you 500, 510, 520, 530, 540, you know, and it'll tell them what they would net each time. Not that they can't figure out $10,000 increments, but it should have been larger, like 500, 525 or whatever. But either way, it kind of gives a breakdown. But yes, if you're going to do them singly, I would do one on the low end and one on the high end, or even one right in the middle. Depends on how big your range is. I like to do about a $60,000 range, so I would probably do three: one high, one middle, and one low. Now that way it kind of tells them, if you sell your house for this price, this is what you're estimated. And I will circle the word estimated.
I was like, emphasize estimated.
And I do that on the paper ones, and I do have, I'll print them, and I'll bring out two. I bring two. I have them sign one, I'll circle it estimated, I have them sign it, and then I'll circle the other one, and I just give that one to them. I take the signed one, because if they ever say, you said I was going to, I remember we said it was estimated, and you initialed it at the time, or signed it at that time. So they know that we did discuss it. It can change, it can fluctuate. All of a sudden we're adding closing costs, or there's repairs, or you know, you never know. So it's just an estimate right now. In a perfect world, this is what we're estimating. Now, I do add some extra features in there, like miscellaneous. I always put $1,000, because yeah, I mean that's not
cleaning fee, right?
Yeah, there's cleaning, there's repairs, there's anything unforeseen. And then for your HOA resale package and demand, I usually put about $500. It could be more if you're in one of the master plan communities, but it could be less also. It's usually like $175 for the resale package, $150 for your demand. I just figure, you know what, I'd rather err on the high side. That way I'm like, oh look, it's even better than what I told you. Awesome, you know. But I don't want them to go, this is $3,000 more than what you told me. So always kind of err on the higher side there. Now commissions, it'll have a spot in there, and Barbara will go over that, where you can, because you're able to add the buyer side commission on yours, right?
We can put it separately.
Okay, because on the ROC Title one, it has commissions, but it's only for one side.
The listing side, yeah.
And so you want to make sure that they see both the buyer and seller side, because most sellers are paying a buyer's commission. And I don't think that will change with the lawsuit. It shouldn't, because it's going to make it very difficult for people to bring buyers there if the buyers don't have the money to pay their own. So you should be able to show them, if I agreed on a 3%, a 4%, a 5%, a 6%, make sure you include all of the commissions in there. Worst case scenario, don't just show them what your commissions are, because If it's a $20,000 commission for you and you left out the $20,000 for the buyer, they're gonna go, this is $20,000 less than what you told me. Don't try to sugarcoat it because it's gonna cost you a lot in the end, and it might just be your reputation, which monetarily isn't anything for that one person, but it can destroy you for your future. So we wanna do that, yes.
So on the title fees, I know we get a break from ROC Title. Is it for the seller who gets the break, or is it the buyer that gets the break?
It depends. So if you are the listing agent and you have opened up escrow at the time of listing and put the verbiage that's been approved by the division in the agent-to-agent remarks, if you do that and you give the MLS sheet to the escrow officer at ROC Title and they open escrow, both sides will get 30% off their escrow fees. Okay. Now, if you are representing the buyer, they must qualify for a discount. So there's a list out on the table next to the training room, but it's be like first-time home buyer or senior military.
Seller net sheet.
Yeah, we're representing the seller in order to get both sides to get the 30% off their escrow fees. It needs to be in the agent-to-agent remarks, and you need to give it to the escrow officer so we can actually do what it says. Title work begun at ROC Title. Both sides, when closed at ROC Title, will receive 30% off. But you need to open it at list. You need to put that in the agent-to-agent remarks because we get audited, and in order to offer that discount to both sides, that's got to be in our file. So
one more advanced question. So let's say the buyer says, no, I want to use mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and they have the right,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we use theirs. How do I know if my net sheet's going to be correct?
You're not. So you're not gonna put any kind of discounts in your net sheet.
correct.
Okay, that's what I
Yep.
needed to know.
Do your full case.
You wanna pad
worst
it.
Estimate.
Mhm.
Okay,
Worst case scenario, right?
thank you.
Because we don't know if it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
right?
I got you.
So that's pretty much, let's see. Oh, okay, so when do you use an estimated net sheet? Well, at the listing presentation, each time you receive an offer, if you're the listing agent, you're gonna get, you can get multiple offers, so you can do a net sheet for each one. Or if you have one offer and you go to present it, you're like, okay, well, here's your estimated net sheet for this offer. No, I don't want that offer, keep it on the market. Great. So the next offer comes in, okay, here's the estimated net sheet for this one. I always provide a net sheet with each offer. But then when you have a fast-moving market or a hot property and you get 4 or 5 offers, I make an Excel spreadsheet, so it brings down everything that they're asking, and then I'll do a net sheet, say, hey, this is what you're set to net for this one, this one, this one, this one. And then each time there's a monetary change in your offer. Say you've accepted an offer, and all of a sudden the appraisal comes in 50,000 below. You're gonna do another net sheet, because you have to go to the seller and say, hey, the buyer had an appraisal, and that came in 50,000 below, and they're asking us to reduce that price by $50,000. Here's an estimated net sheet of what you would make at that sales price.
So I would think that this should definitely be something on your phone too, so that you have it handy at all times.
Yeah, so Barbara, if you're ready, she's gonna show you how to do the ROC Title one, and then there's a little shortcut that you can put it on a little title on your phone. And then you just click on it, and it opens up onto your desktop or your phone, and then you can just go in there and it tells you how the breakdown. So she's gonna walk you through that.
Good morning, everybody. So happy to be here with you today. Thank you for coming. Okay, I'm just going to kind of go through and actually do a net sheet, just to kind of show you a little bit about it. Wendy was correct in that when you're going on a listing appointment, it's probably one of the very most important things that you can take with you in addition to the comps, okay? Because basically, that seller, what they care about most is what they're going to net cash in hand at close. So that's like their number one priority. So having this is very important because then you're going in there with knowledge. So before you do anything when you're going on a listing appointment, okay, you're going to email me the address of that property and ask for a property profile. And tell me you're going on a listing appointment and when it is. Because if it's this afternoon, I need to put a priority rush. I can't guarantee you'll get it that quick. Usually if you order a property profile in the morning, you'll get it in the afternoon. If you order it in the afternoon, you'll get it the next morning. And the reason why you want to tell me it's for a listing appointment is because I will have customer service create a know before you list report. I call it a lien report, but she calls it a know before you list report. And the reason why you need this before you do your net sheet is you need to know what's going on with that property. Is there one mortgage? Is there a second mortgage? Is there a HELOC? Is there a standalone loan for a pool? Is there an HOA lien? Sewer or trash liens, anything like that. What's going on with the property? Are they current with their taxes? You need to know these things before you do your net sheet if you want to be precise. And you want to be as precise as possible. You definitely want to pad this. Like Wendy said, you want them to end up with more money than you tell them. So you want the fees on here so that when at closing, they actually end up with more, hopefully, than what you're showing, okay? Because if you show them that they're going to get more and they get less, it makes you look bad and they're going to be mad at you and you'll be less likely to get referrals. So you want this to be padded as much as possible. And I know that you want to get the listing and you want to keep this as low as you can so it looks like they're getting more in their pocket, but you also want to make sure that it is, it's padded. Okay, so you're going to order a property profile. When you get that, the know before you list report is very important because you're going to look at it. You're also going to know if it's really messy, you're going to be at least, you'll know ahead of time and you'll be able to bring that up during the listing appointment. You can actually show that to your client because this is public information and discuss it with them. They may not even know they have HOA liens or trash liens, so it makes you look smart like you did your homework. So use us. It's a free service that we provide for you, property profile. Okay, so let's say you've already got that. You've talked to your client. Make sure when you're talking to them before you go on that listing appointment, you tell them, I'm going to put together some numbers for you. I'm going to run the comps and I'm going to do a net sheet for you so you can kind of understand what the fees are going to be. And in order to do so, I need to know what your remaining balance is on your mortgage, ballpark. Always ask that question. You would be amazed at how many people do not ask that question. Experienced agents don't ask that question. You need to know what their existing loan balance is because what you get from us, the know before you list report, shows the original mortgage balance. It does not show the current mortgage balance. That's private information. We can't get it. So you need to ask your client that. Okay? So now you know, once you've talked to them, you know what the payoff amount is on there. And you're going to ask them other questions. Okay, you have a HELOC, how much is it? You know, do you have any other loans? You're going to ask all these questions. Okay, so then you're going to email me if you do not have this app, and I will send you an invitation to pair with us. Now, ours is a little bit different. ROC Title's NetSheet app is a little bit different than an app on your phone. And it's good. It's very good. This is web-based. So whatever you do on your laptop or any computer when you log in, and it's saved automatically. So when you open it on your phone, you've already done a net sheet, but let's say you're out with a client and you open it on your phone, you've got it right there. It's saved and you can change it. And when you change it on your phone, it saves it in here. So it saves everything that you do and it doesn't matter. Now, once I send you an invitation, it'll come to you via email. You'll click on the link and it will open up and you just put in your name, email address, phone number, and create an account with a password. Then when you go onto your phone, open up that same link from the email on your phone, and when you open it up, put in your password, and then just click the little piece of paper with an arrow. It says like you're sending it away. You're going to click that, and it says add to home screen. You're going to add this website to your home screen so it looks like an app, but it's linked. It's everything you do is linked, so it's web-based. So it's actually better than an app because with an app, it's not linked together. So anyway, once you get the invitation from me or your title rep, you're going to create an account. But I already have an account, so I'm going to click sign in. And we're going to go ahead and do a net sheet now. All righty. Now, I know you had a question earlier, Leah, about buyer net sheets. You'll see there's seller net sheet and there's buyer net sheet. Now, we always do the seller net sheets, and they're super simple, you shall see. However, with a buyer net sheet, Wendy was saying you don't know what the fees are going to be. You don't know what the lender fees are going to be. You're not going to know origination fees. You're not going to know anything. So your net sheet, if your buyer is getting a loan, is going to be wrong because you have no idea what the fees are going to be. So I always, when I was a realtor, always had the buyer say, please contact your lender and he'll provide a good faith estimate for you with the fees. So I always, if the buyer is getting a loan, I have the lender do the net sheet. Now, if it's a cash buyer, let's do it. We'll do one today if you like, because there's not a lot of fees and it's going to be pretty close. So let's do that. Now, there is also, with ROC Title, we have a multiple offer button, and I'll show you that too real quick at the end, because say you're the listing agent and you get a bunch of offers and you have to present all of them. The easiest way to do it is just use this multiple offer button, and you can put all 4 of them in at the same time and it will do a comparison to present to your client. So it's quicker than doing 4 separate net sheets. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on seller net sheet. And now, this is really not even remotely important at all, but this is ROC Title's office. I'm at the Southwest office, so I'm just putting Southwest. Doesn't matter what you click, we don't care. So, property information, I'm going to put in my seller's name, Wendy Schaller, and let's put in an address. I'm just sticking one in there. Okay, so it will put that in there. So now I've got the address, I've got the owner's name. What type of transaction is it? Well, right now we're at the listing, so we have no idea what kind of transaction it's going to be, but most cases it's going to be sale with mortgage. Now, when you get the offers, you'll change that. It'll be cash if it's a cash offer or whatever. But right now, we're just going to go sale with mortgage because that's what most of them are. We don't know a closing date, so I'm just going to go 1 month from now and just say the 20th. I highly suggest not closing on a Friday. I also highly suggest not closing the last 3 working days of the month because of escrow. Be kind. And also protect yourself. If you have this closing on the 21st and there's any type of delay with the loan or loan docs or anything at all, now you're not closing till 3-4 days later. You've got to get an extension that's even longer. And God forbid there's a problem on that day. If you close on like a Wednesday, you've got 2 days grace here that it is probably easier to get an extension for. So just FYI, note to yourself. Yes, these last 3 days of the month are rough for escrow. Most people want to close on those days. So those are our busiest days. So if you want your escrow officer to actually be in the signing, I wouldn't do this because we will have, probably you'll end up with the notary. But I didn't say that out loud. It's being taped. But
it's understandable. Because
it's understandable.
To so many closings, they can't stop.
Yeah, and being a new agent, these aren't things that you're thinking of. All right, so I'm just kind of, from our point of view, try to do that. Now, it does make a difference with prorations, you know, and I think, what is it, Wendy? When somebody buys a house after the 15th of the month, now it's been 3 years for me, so they don't have to pay the mortgage on that, they get to go 2 months out?
Okay, yeah, so when you close a home, you will always get the month that you close in free plus the month after that. So if you close your home anytime in May, you will get all of May free, all of June free, and your first payment will be July if you have a loan. Now, if you close on May 31st, or what is that? Yeah, May 31st, you will get May 31st free, all of June free, and then your first payment is still due in July. Right?
So to do the best service to your buyer, you want, this is for buyer, this benefits your buyer, close earlier in the month. Okay, so they're going to get all these days free of not making a payment and the next month. So just FYI.
You're talking about mortgage?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, you always pay, it's just prepaid interest.
Yeah, but then they don't have, like, they just
The actual
come out of
payment.
pocket with so much money for down payments and everything, their first payment is
They
not
don't
there.
have to come out of pocket.
Yeah, it's kind of like when
I
you,
mean, nothing's free.
No, but they think it is. They think that, well, I don't have to pay for 2 months, which is also good if if they're in a rental and they have to pay, they're not having a double payment.
Mhm.
So I'll sometimes go, hey, I know we're set to close, like if we write this offer today, 30 to 45 days is putting us at like June 25th. Let's put our closing on July 4th.
Yeah.
Then that way it will include all of July, all of August, and then you can be out and not have a double payment for July or August.
Very
It's all
good.
about timing.
Yes, it's all about timing. So anyway, I'm just going to pick a date. Here we are. Where were we? Okay, existing loan balance. First question is going to ask us, which is what I told you. You will talk to that person on the phone and say, I'm going to be putting numbers together. I need to know what your existing loan balance is. And they're like, well, I don't know. Give me a ballpark. What was on your last statement that you saw? You know, just something. So, and if they don't know it, you can put the full amount that is on the Know Before You List report from title. If they've been paying it for 15 years, subtract 10,000 or something. You know, you can just kind of guesstimate, but you don't know. So you could put the whole original balance in here and you can change it later because it's going to be saved. So when you're at the listing appointment, you can change it on your phone and you'll actually have one right there. But let's just say that the existing loan balance is $500,000. Okay. And I put the closing date in. Now, title policy. There's only one option. Now, we automatically at ROC Title give it's called an Alta Extended. It's pretty much what you want for everything. It is a little bit, it's like 10% more than the Alta, but it covers so much more. And fraud, it protects your clients. So pretty much at any title company, ask for the Alta Extended. First American Title is our underwriter, one of our underwriters, and they call it an eagle, okay? Because there's an eagle in their logo. I don't know. Everybody calls it something different, but it is the Alta Extended. And so that automatically puts it in there, and there's no choices here. Who pays for the owner policy? That normally it's the seller. I believe that is negotiable, but in this market especially, and 99.999% of the time it's the seller. So we're going to leave it seller. And this button calculate, it should say continue, but it says calculate. But just please fix errors. What did I forget?
But that owner policy is...
Oh, I didn't put in a sales price. Okay, what?
The owner policy is that for only a month?
The owner's policy, it pays...
You need to pay?
That's a title insurance policy. It's like purchasing insurance, and it's forever until somebody changes the name on the title. But the seller's paying, protecting, it's guaranteeing that the house is free and clear, everything is paid off, and it's going to the buyer free and clear. So it is an insurance policy.
Just know that in a new home, though, the seller, being the builder, does not pay for that.
Ah, interesting. Good to know. I did not know
They
that.
used to.
Okay, so everybody heard that. If you're buying a new home, the buyer has to pay for that. Okay. Probably everything. I don't know.
No, they did, and
Okay.
then, but about 5 years ago, they said, oh, we're not paying off this or the, the tax.
Ah, interesting. Okay, thank you. All right, so I hit calculate, which just brings me to the next page. So that's why I said it should say continue, but here we are. Now, proration details. This, you only have proration. This is saying, like, if the seller has paid property taxes, like for an entire quarter, and you're closing in the middle of that quarter, it's going to say it's paid up to the day of closing, and it's going to give them money back from when the buyer takes it on. So it's based on the close of escrow date, and so it prorates the property taxes. Now, this particular app does not know what the property value is. So when you're getting ready to do your listing, you're of course going to pull the tax page. And you look and see what the annual taxes are for that year. So for this particular house, it's $7,001.77. I happen to have looked it up. So how often is the frequency on this tax? This is the full year amount, so I put annual. And the default says 360 days. I have no idea why. I just changed it to 365 because that's how many days are in a year. Include the closing date because I want it prorated. Of course, that will change when you actually get offers. That's when it really matters. And here, monthly HOA dues. So this particular house has $120 a month. Now, important. Oftentimes there you'll see monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, and annual. Often there are several different HOA fees. There's a master, there's a secondary, there's this and that. One of them's monthly, one of them's quarterly. Ugh, it's frustrating. However, you have to figure out if you're doing quarterly, let's say you take the quarterly amount and then it's $120 a month, you would triple that. You would add those two together and put this here for that total amount quarterly. Or you could take the quarterly amount, divide it by 3, and add it to this 120. Whatever, it doesn't matter how you do it, you just have to add them together because there isn't a place to put additional. Yeah, you would need a lump sum here. So this particular house only has one HOA and it's 120 a month, but if there's more, you could do it quarterly, annually, whatever you want to do, just put it in there. Okay. Now this is your Realty One Group transaction fee. It's based on the sales price. This sales price is $680, so I believe that would be $800, but you have that information, not me. Annual HOA dues. I find this weird because I have the monthly dues here and the annual dues here. I've been leaving it blank, but just for fun, it's $1,200 a year. Let's put it there and see if it does double. I can't remember if I need to leave that blank or not. Now, for some reason, this particular app just shows listing broker commission here. It doesn't have buyer below it. I am going, now, we will be adding buyer because I do like them separated. Because I don't want the seller to go, oh, you're getting $41,000. No, I'm only getting half of that, right? So we want to break it into two as long as we still can. This doesn't, but it's real easy to add it. Now, in the future, after all the NAR stuff dies down, if you want to put it all together, you can. But for now, let's say you're getting 3%. It's a good world. And the HOA package, unless you call to find out how much it is, you're not going to really know. Some of them are very expensive, some are less expensive. In the past, I've talked to people and I've talked to my escrow officers. A good guess is there's like 2. So it's like $300 and $300 for these 2 packages that you have to do, a resale and whatever. I just put $600 in here. Wendy, what do you, for the HOA package order, how much do you?
500.
You put 500.
Yeah, just because I'm thinking, but it can be more.
It can be more. So I've always just said 600 or 500.
Well, like if you're outside of a master plan community, I stick around 500. But if you know, like Summerlin, you know that there's going to be 2, possibly 3 of them. Put $600, $800 to $1,000.
Correct.
So.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking also. So we're guessing. And you're going to tell your client when you're presenting this to them, we are just at the listing stage. We don't have any offers yet. I haven't called we don't know the HOA demands. This is just a very basic preliminary ballpark, don't hold me to it, estimate. So now we're going to hit continue/calculate. We're not done yet. But so far it's pretty easy, isn't it? You're just filling in the blanks. Now, I'm going to add some things. This particular net sheet, it's already created it. But as you'll look here, okay. So as you look here, there's this Eagle Owner's Policy. This is the title insurance policy and it automatically filled it in, okay. Conveyance deed. This is the $5.10 per thousand, the state transfer tax. Seller normally pays it.
New homes.
Except new homes. So it already filled it in for you and calculated it. Now, reconveyance tracking fee per payoff. What is that, you may ask? Anyway, I won't say what I think it is, but it's the bank. The bank charges a fee when they pay off the mortgage. And that's a hard fee to title. So whatever it's going to be, we pass it on to the seller. We don't know what the bank is going to charge. Right now, we're just putting in 100 because kind of like the HOA dues, we don't know what they are yet. But the bank will charge something to press paid off. So anyway, that's what that is, a reconveyance tracking fee per payoff. Now, if there's 2 loans, that'll be double. So that sort of thing. So if, whatever. But that's how you would explain that to your client, but in a nicer way, not the way I just did it. I have to remember that we're being recorded. Now this FedEx fee, this may or may not be on your net sheet. Leave it on there. You want it padded as much as possible in case there is something that has to be FedEx, because that's also a hard fee to title which gets passed on to the seller. But if there is no need for FedEx, that won't be on the final settlement statement. Escrow fee, this is 50% of the escrow fee. Yep. And this can be changed if it is negotiated different. But normally in the state of Nevada, it's 50-50. Seller pays half and the buyer pays half. So agent transaction fee, this is the Realty One Group transaction fee. Annual HOA dues is there. I put that, it was $120 a month. I put $1,200 in. It shows the listing broker commission, and that was 3%. It prorated the property taxes. HOA package, $600, and the monthly HOA dues proration. So yes, you do want to have the full amount in there, and then also it'll prorate based on the close of escrow date. Now, what we do not have in here is the buyer's commission. That's pretty important. Don't leave that out. You could have added it to listing broker commission, but we kind of want to have it broken in half. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit edit. We're going to add it. And this, you can change everything here after you look at it. You can edit the details, but you're not going to. You can edit this if you have to, but we're not going to. We're going to go down to Property Real Estate 2 section, and we're going to hit Add Fees. We want to put buyer broker commission in here. Okay, so I don't know. I'm just going to hit Add Fee. There's a bunch here that you can that are already typed in, but we're just going to hit Add Fee, and I'm going to name it buyer broker commission, or whatever you want to call it. And what was that amount? Was it 21,000? I can't remember. It doesn't let you put in 3% or 2.5%. It's quite annoying. It makes you actually get a calculator out, figure out what it's going to be, and stick it in there. So, but we're going to hit add. Okay, and I'm going to hit continue, calculate. Okay, now let's save this and go look at it. I want to look at it as a PDF.
Did it let you, did it double your HOA or no?
No, I would have had to have done it. Well, let's look at it.
We were double checking that.
Oh, let's look. Okay, so I hit download. I want to make it, I want to look at this in its whole and entirety before I print it out and give it to the client. So you'll see it's created a net sheet. It'll have your picture here, your information. You want to make sure that the person's name is correct and the closing date. And here's the estimated net proceeds. So your sales price is $680, the existing loan balance is $500, and the closing costs are $54, which brings you to an estimated net proceeds. This is all your client's going to see, and they're going to go, I thought I was going to get more.
Of course.
Basically, you're going to have to explain what the closing costs are, and just absolutely say that this is absolutely just ballpark. It is estimated. We don't know anything yet. You could get a higher offer. You could get a lower offer.
Is there a disclaimer on that anywhere?
There should be right here. For most, yeah, there's all kinds of disclaimers. Now, you can also add a note. There's a section where you can write your own note saying this is a ballpark, blah, blah, blah. You can put your own disclaimer in there too. But right now we've got the title policy, and we've got the state transfer tax, the bank payoff amount, the FedEx, and the escrow fee. We've got the agent transaction fee, Realty One Group's fee, annual HOA, listing 3% of sale. There's the buyer commission. I just guessed. You would have put $20,400 if you were offering 3%. If you're offering 2.5, you would figure that out and put that amount in. But this is pretty close. And then you've got your disclaimer. So literally you would save this to your computer, and you would have this handy. Now you could do several. You could do one for the sales price of $680. Let's say that's my suggested list price, but you could do one for $685, one for $690. It's only going to be it's only going to barely change the estimated net proceeds. So that's what you're going to use to try and get them to use the correct list price and not overprice it, because the first offer they get, and you really need to tell them this, the first offer they're going to get is probably going to be the highest. It doesn't mean you listed it too low. It is going to be the highest, because the longer you're on the market, they feel that you're more distressed, and that they are going to offer low. The first offer is always the highest, and your seller's going to go, well, we listed it too low. No, we listed it just right. And if you get that offer quickly, it's even better, and it will be the highest. After that, it's going to get lower and lower and lower and lower. So listing it correctly the first time is the most important thing you can do, and this net sheet is a key tool to do that. So I would do a net sheet, like Wendy says, she does several. I agree with her. I would do a net sheet at 680 because that's what it should be listed at, and that's where the comps say. I would also do one for like 690, so they'll see that their estimated net proceeds are only like a few $1,000s. That's it. Don't lose a deal over it. You're going to get a higher offer if you list right, versus overlisting and waiting to see what happens.
Sorry, I'm stuck on the HOA to see.
Okay, let's go down.
Those two spots, if it came out right.
Okay, so right now I've got the annual is $1,200. I've got the monthly HOA dues through proration, so they'd get $80 back based on my close of escrow
So
date.
you do need to fill in both spots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sorry, I'm a detail.
No, that's okay. Let me close
I like
this.
the format. It's really simple.
Yeah, I like it.
It's very, very
It's
simple.
very, like, you can't go wrong with it.
Now you can email this directly to somebody, but I wouldn't do it from this program. I would download it and save it, and I would send it in my own email as an attachment and copy myself so you can show. But normally you're going to print it out and take it to your listing appointment. Now you can email directly from here, but whatever. Any questions on doing a seller net sheet? Pretty simple, huh? Okay, so let's go back to our home.
And you could add the box for miscellaneous at that one.
Yes. So let's go back in. Let's go back into seller net sheet, and let's go to saved. See this little saved? I hit the save button. So here is the one I just did. Let's say I want, and actually I suggest this. Let's hit edit. Let's pad it. When I was a realtor, I always put a $300 miscellaneous pad on all of my net sheets. So let's say I want to add that. I'm going to scroll down here to this edit add fees button. And what did you want to add?
Well, I think that was when you said 1,000, because there could be.
Well, only if you know there's more, you're in a master plan community and you know, let me hit cancel, you know that there are 2 HOAs. Okay, let's just say this particular house has 2 HOAs.
Well, she was actually saying 1,000 because of possible repairs and.
Oh, you want to add
cleaner.
repairs. Okay, then.
That's what I'm not.
Okay, I'll show you how to do that. So I just opened up the one that I did.
Okay.
I'm coming down here to this property real estate. I'm going to hit add fees. So let's, instead of looking, let's just click add. Okay. So we're going to add here what you just said, possible
Repairs, cleaning.
repair costs / and cleaning, like she said. So let's put $1,000 here. Whoops, don't use a comma. Okay, so let's add that. Let's add another one. And I'm going to go click there first so you can type in it. Hello, pad for miscellaneous expenses. Unknown, whatever, but I don't want them to pay more than I'm saying they're going to. And now instead of calculate, continue.
Got it. I think that's smarter, don't you?
Yeah, I want this to, I actually want them to look like they're getting less than they're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
So now you'll see here, let's save it. And let's download it and look at it. And you'll see the difference. Now, the more things you add, it takes it into a 2-page document versus a 1-page document, just FYI. No big deal, but this total closing cost is now on the 2nd page. But you'll see here that we added possible repair costs and cleaning. You could go buyer requested, or you could call it, possible is probably not a good word, go inspection, per inspection, repair costs, whatever. I don't know, make it look good. And then there's my pad for miscellaneous. I added the buyer broker commission. So you can add anything you need. If there's a second standalone loan on there for a HELOC, you're going to put it here. If there's a second loan for anything, you're going to put it here. Any fee you could think of that's going to come up, you're going to put it there. If you see on the Know Before You List report a tax lien, a trash lien, an HOA lien, you're going to put that there for the amount that was recorded. Of course, it's going to be more, and you're going to tell your client it's going to be more because there's going to be penalties and interest, but this is all I know at this point. So you're going to put that on there. So that's why that lien report, that property profile is so important to get, because sometimes there are liens. So you'll add those one at a time, just like we did. Got it? What else? Yeah, don't overthink it. Just do the best you can because it's going to change.
Would you at this point bring up what you're gonna do for them? I'm gonna say, hey, now I'm gonna do my very best to see if I can get them to use ROC Title based on all the benefits, blah, blah, blah. And if so, then there will be a discount to these fees.
Yes.
And use it as like a selling.
Absolutely. Just say you can see here that we are affiliated with ROC Title because when they sign your listing paperwork, there's an affiliation that they're going to sign, so they're going to know it anyway. Just say they're our sister company. We work closely with them. I trust them because if anything does come up during title, we have instant access. We are their number one priority, and their fees are very low. They are underwritten by First American Title, so the fees are pretty much the same as some of the bigger title companies and less than like Chicago Title or some of the others. I'm not supposed to say that.
So may I,
Yes.
So if somebody, is there, you get it at a discount, so that way if someone's using First American Title, you're not paying extra for ROC Title?
You're not paying extra. Basically, you would say to your clients, you know what, if you agree, if it's okay with you, I'd like to write in the MLS that we would prefer to use ROC Title, because then upon close of escrow, you'll get 30% off this escrow fee amount, and so will the buyer. Yeah. If that's okay with you, I'll go ahead and write it in the agent-to-agent remarks, but knowing that the buyer has the right to choose, and if they choose not to, then that discount will go away. But just know that if we do close with ROC Title, this amount will be 30% less.
So I'm thinking as a salesperson, so let's say I'm talking to the offer, the buyer's agent and the offer we're gonna probably accept. And I say to them, listen, if you do use ROC Title and their fees are very competitive, underwritten by FATCO, obviously you must get them at wholesale pricing. So bottom line is, they're probably not able to get their buyer a 30% discount.
Correct.
Unless they meet all that criteria that you said.
Correct. Yes.
So bottom line.
And your seller won't get a discount at all.
No, I understand.
Unless
that.
they qualify for a senior.
So that's putting a little bit of pressure on me to sell that agent on using
Yeah,
you.
it'd be nice.
Then it's a win-win.
Yeah, they get a discount and your seller gets a discount, and you've already opened escrow and title work's already been done. The preliminary title report is finished. Okay. So we've already done all the work. So yeah, ROC Title has already done all the work before the buyer even comes. So it's ready to go. And so there's a big advantage to having the preliminary title report, and you get a discount.
100%. Because like you said, right now, if let's say I'm working with a buyer and I want to use you guys, because obviously, but they have to meet that certain criteria. And they may not be first-time home buyer.
Correct.
Or veteran or whatever all those things.
Correct.
Okay.
You got it.
I like it.
Okay, let's move on to the next one because it's already 11 o'clock and I don't want the recording to go too. Now, buyer is exactly the same as seller. Do not do one, I highly suggest do not do one if your buyer is getting a loan. Have the lender do it. But again, let's do this like in 30 seconds. I'm just picking an office. Last time I did Southwest is someone, who cares? So Susie is the buyer. The address is 1234 Main Street. I mean, this is how fast I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, because we're running out of time.
Would you say this is good for us to do for a cash buyer?
Yes, cash buyers. Clark County, because they're going to they want to know how much their closing costs are. Right. Or you can have your escrow officer do it. City. All right, hang on. Let's just pick Henderson. Okay, so you would do this for a cash buyer, your cash buyer. You would not do this for anybody else's buyer, just your own, and only if you have to. So transaction type, it is going to be, of course, sale cash, because you're going to have the lender do it if it's with a loan. Let's say the sales price is $680 again. The earnest money deposit, it's normally not a percent. It's usually a flat fee. So I'm putting in the amount that's in the MLS. Let's say you're doing this for your buyer, so you know you'll close in about a month. So I'm just going 30 days from now. This is a title insurance policy, and normally the seller pays, no, title insurance policy, yes. It's the owners, the seller does not pay for this. Normally the buyer pays for that in their closing costs. Did you guys catch that?
No.
This was defaulted to seller, but we're doing a buyer net sheet. So this is an owner's policy, not a seller's policy. Normally the seller pays for theirs and the buyer pays for theirs, but that's negotiable. But in 90% of the time, your buyer is going to pay for their own policy. And so it's negotiable, but we're gonna hit calculate / should be continue. So closing date, you're gonna put in the taxes. You'll have looked up the tax sheet on that property. So let's say they're $4,000. And that's annual, 365 days. We're gonna put in your transaction fee, which will be it'll be 800, whatever.
Where do I find those fees again?
You should have gotten that in your black book when you were hired on, and it has a list. It's based on the sales price. Realty One Group has a transaction fee basis.
And I noticed, Barbara, they always overestimate, right? So if you're selling something at $550, they're gonna estimate at $600,
Yep.
and then they take that.
Always, it's always going to be. And when you first are in a transaction with ROC Title, any title company, you're going to get a estimated closing statement. It's going to have a million fees on there that we're not going to charge, but it's all there just in case. Because especially if there's a loan, it has to be on there in case it comes on later. At the very end, we start removing stuff. So just know, don't freak out the first time when you get that closing statement, the estimated closing statement, when we just open escrow, it's going to have a ton of things on there that are going to be removed. But we don't know if they can be removed yet. So everything is just listed, it's padded, it's going to be changed as we go. So this was the buyer net sheet that we were doing. I'm going to download this so you can look at it real quick.
Put in the EMD, I just didn't see that.
I did.
Okay.
Let's look at it.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm going to click on it. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is, it's so simple. Literally, I put in the sales price, the earnest money is $10,000, the closing costs are here. This is what the cash buyer needs to bring to close, okay? Now, this has the title insurance policy for the buyer. It has a conveyance deed. This is not the same thing as that bank payoff amount. This is a conveyance deed recording fee. So any document that must be recorded for that property, the Clark County charges us a certain amount per document. So if there's 4 documents that have to be recorded, this would be 4 times that. But usually there's just 1, so we've just got an amount there. That's a hard cost from the county for recording, all right? This property inspection, that may or may not be there. It's PAD,
Appraiser.
yeah. Escrow fee,
Oh, wait a minute.
50%.
It would be an appraisal.
No, the appraisal would be different. So if you're,
Oh, it's a bank inspection.
yeah. But there's no loan on this. So this property inspection, you could probably, if this is cash buyer, you can tell them that fee is going to come off.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then there's your transaction fee, the tax proration based on the close of escrow date, the subtitle, and the closing costs. So this is so simple, it does not even need explaining. But if you have a cash buyer and they want to know basically what their fees are going to be and how much they need to bring to the table, this is a quick way to do it. Okay? If you need to make changes to it, you want to add things, all you do is hit edit. Okay? And you can literally add them. I'll show you where. I'm not going to do it because I want to show you one more thing and then we got to close. Add fees. So if you know there's going to be a fee, let's say a buyer's paying something, who knows what, a home warranty. The buyer has to pay for their own home warranty. You would click here and add home warranty and then the amount and hit add and it would be on your thing. So just know that's there. And also on the seller, if you wanted to add, seller's going to pay a home warranty. You can. Yeah, we didn't do that, but you can add it just like anything. Spam. Okay, I want to show you one more thing and then we're going to finish. Let's go to home. This is so simple. Isn't it easy so far? Yeah, I hope this was helpful. Multiple offers. I'm not going to fill in all the amounts, but I'm just going to scroll down. So you put in the seller's name, the address, the state, property type, which is a house, the listing amount, and the existing loan balance. Okay. Now, you're going to type each offer in. If there's 4, you're going to do it 4 times. If there's 2, you're going to do it 2 times. But it's not a lot of stuff. It's just, is it cash or, why is this not? Oh, I didn't fill in the top. All right, I'll fill it in. We'll just do Barbara Becker. We'll give it, let's just do it. In case why won't it let me put in any information? Oh, maybe this? Yeah, well, it makes you fill things in, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4 Main Street. It makes you fill them in. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to go fast, but it's not letting me. Now, the listing amount, again, is $680. The existing loan balance is $500. I can't even show you anything unless I fill it in. Okay, offers. So, transaction type, you have a couple choices. It's probably not a short sale at this point, so it's either a cash sale or somebody with a loan. Offer amount, see, my list price was $680. Let's say they're offering $675. And they have a closing date of the 10th, not May 10th. You gotta be in the future. May 7th. This is the owner's policy. The seller pays for it. You can put notes here if you want. And we can add things to it. But for right now, we go on to offer number 2. Let's say it's cash. Let's say they're lowballing me at $675. At $670, let's say there, because they think they're cool. And they've got a closing date. Yeah, all cash buyers think they're cool. And we're gonna hit here. Now, you can add additional offers. If you have 3 or 4, we're gonna hit calculate. Now, you can add additional things, like if they are asking for a home warranty, if they're asking for closing costs, you add all those in by editing. But for right now, oh, wait. We gotta add the transaction fee. I'm not done yet. So there's the $800. The annual HOA dues is $1,200. You'll see these are all quite similar as you're filling in the amounts. How much is, we're gonna just, to be quick, we're gonna just make this 6 and the HOA package 600. And we can add things to the offers. I want to hit just calculate and be done because we're running out of time. It's just filling in the blanks, play with it and practice because you'll learn as you go. It's pretty simple. You always hit edit and you can add anything you need to. Let's see if it'll let me calculate for time's sake, just to show you what it looks like. So here we are. Let's download the comparison because it's easier to look at as a whole PDF. So, and then we shall be done. You'll be free to go on with your day with this new knowledge in hand. Okay, so here is a multiple offer estimate. It has offer number 1, offer number 2, and which one is better. Okay, now you will be adding things to it, which you can. So here's offer number 1, and it shows the details and total closing costs, and offer number 2, and everything. So it actually puts it all together in a very easy way with a summary on the top to break it down. So you don't have to do 4 net sheets. You could do 1. But you'll have to edit each individual one to add exactly what's in that offer. Are they asking for this? Are they asking for closing costs? And then these will change. As you save this, you wouldn't actually redo this one. When you present the offers, you would show this. And then if anything changes after the inspections or there's addendums, you would actually do a full net sheet for just that property. And I would suggest doing that. It's a good idea. So that's basically it in a nutshell. And to get home, you click on the little home button. You want to put your name and your picture in here. So you would just manage profile in the upper right-hand corner like in every other app. Now, everything you do in here will be on your phone. You'll open this up as a website on your phone, log in, and hit the little piece of paper with the arrow and hit add to home screen. That's like you're gonna print, but if you scroll down, it says add to home screen. That creates a little icon on your phone, so it looks like an app, like you downloaded from the App Store, but it goes directly to this website. So everything is synced, whether you do it on your phone or whether you do it here. Let's say you're out with a buyer, they have cash, they want to know how much the closing costs are. You could actually do one right there in your hand, and you could email it to them. Or a seller, you can do it.
It's not an app, but it is linked.
It is, yeah, you can do it all on your phone. You can do all of this on your phone. You just need to,
But it's web-based.
yeah, so you'll add it to you open the website, log in, and add it to your home screen. So that's it in a nutshell. Any questions about doing net sheets, how to do net sheets, questions about net sheets, and why is a net sheet good? I think you got it, right?
And so do we have to still notify you, or are you gonna send us it once it gets?
If you could all email me, my email address is on the wall, barbara.becker@roctitle.com, and as soon as I get that little issue fixed, I will send you an invite to join. Okay?
I have a question. I went on list reports and I was trying to send one.
Mm-hmm.
And it will not let me off of pairing with a loan officer.
How did you connect with us?
Don't know, and that's where I'm really.
Okay, let's talk after the class and I'll go in and see if I can send you a new invitation, because you must join through an invitation from us because we pay for it.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's why I have it.
Let's stop recording real quick and then we'll talk. Okay, any other questions regarding NetSheets? Yes. Okay, thank you everybody for joining us. Have a great day. Bye.